Hey everyone, so we're standing at the edge of a really massive shift in artificial intelligence. For the longest time, we've had AI that can talk to us, but what's coming next is AI that can actually act for us. We're about to move way beyond just simple questions and answers and into a world where AI can tackle complex goals pretty much all on its own.
And just think about the difference for a second. We're all used to AI that talks. You ask a direct question, you get a direct answer. Simple. But the next big leap is this AI that acts. You don't just ask it a question, you give it a goal, a big goal, like, hey, plan my entire trip to Paris, and it just figures out all the steps. That right there is the world of AI agents.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll explore what makes this leap so important. We're going to break down the key differences between the chatbots we know and these new agents. We'll take a peek inside an agent's mind, discover the tools that give them their superpowers, and finally, we'll get into why this changes, well, pretty much everything.
This whole evolution really just boils down to one key idea, moving from being reactive to being proactive. For so long, AI has just kind of sat there waiting for us to tell it what to do. But we're at this incredible inflection point now, creating AI systems that don't just respond, but can actually work independently toward a goal that we've set for them.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this shift, let's put the familiar chatbot right next to the new kid on the block, the AI agent.
First up, the good old chatbot. We all know these. It's a totally reactive system, right? It just waits for you to ask something, it spits out a single answer, and then its job is done. There's no memory, no bigger picture, no goal, just that one single interaction.
For instance, you ask a chatbot a direct question. It finds the answer, gives it to you, and that's it. The conversation's over. It has zero curiosity. It's not going to ask, hey, why do you need to know that? Or what are you trying to build here?
Now compare that to an AI agent. This is a whole different ballgame. It operates in a completely different way. You don't give it a question, you give it a goal. It then actually figures out the necessary steps, uses tools to get the job done, and this is absolutely crucial, it can change its plan if it hits a snag.
That plan a trip to Paris goal isn't just a single question, it's a whole project. The agent breaks it down. It searches for flights, it checks hotels, it drafts an itinerary, and it'll even refine everything based on your feedback about the budget. It's a dynamic, living, multi-step process.
So how on earth does an agent actually do all of that? Let's pop the hood for a minute and look at the core components that give it this incredible power for autonomous action. At its heart, an agent really has four fundamental abilities. First, it has to understand the goal. It has to figure out what you really want, not just what you typed. Then it plans, breaking that big goal down into a manageable to-do list. After that, it takes action, actually going out and doing those things. And finally, and this is so important, it uses a feedback loop to check its own work and course correct if anything goes wrong. And all of this happens in a continuous cycle. The agent gets a goal, it thinks about it makes a plan, and it executes a step. Then it observes the result. Did that work? Awesome. What's next? Oh, did it fail? Okay, no problem. Let's adjust the plan and try something else. And this loop just repeats over and over and over until the main goal is finally achieved.
But this raises a huge question, right? How does an AI, which is really just lines of code sitting on a server somewhere, actually do things in the real world like book a flight or search the web? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. It uses tools. Think about it this way. Without any tools, a super powerful AI is like a brilliant brain in a jar. It has all this incredible knowledge and reasoning ability, but it's completely cut off from the outside world. It's just trapped. But the moment you give that AI tools, you're essentially giving it hands and eyes. You're creating a bridge that lets it interact with real-world systems, access up-to-the-minute information, and actually get stuff done.
And look, these aren't some kind of magical AI concept. The tools are often things we use every single day. An agent can be given access to a search engine, a calculator, a file system, or even something called an API that lets it talk directly to a hotel booking website. This connection to the digital world is what makes them so incredibly powerful.
So, what's the bottom line here? What does it all really mean for us when AI makes this huge shift from just thinking and talking to actually doing? Let's break it down one last time, just to make it crystal clear. A chatbot responds, but an agent acts. A chatbot is totally passive, while an agent is active. A chatbot gives you a single answer, but an agent works through a whole multi-step process. And maybe most importantly, a chatbot can't plan. An agent is built to do nothing but
This new foundation of acting AI, this is what's going to enable the whole next wave of applications. I mean, think about truly autonomous personal assistants that manage your entire schedule, or advanced productivity tools that complete whole projects for you, or even this wild idea of digital employees that handle complex business processes from start to finish.
When you boil it all down, it comes back to this one simple, incredibly powerful idea. Chatbots answer questions. AI agents solve problems.
And that really brings us to the final thought. Now that you understand what an AI agent is capable of, planning, acting, adapting, what's the first big, complicated, multi-step problem you would hand over for it to solve? It's a pretty fascinating question to think about. Thanks for joining me.